he said to me. The people laughed. I was 14, but even so small for my age, just under 5 feet tall, size 2 dress. Not that I ever wore a dress, most of my clothes being off the kids' rack usually, junior jeans and little t-shirts and size 4.5 sneakers. No bust, and hips like a boy, and short hair. Why would anyone stare at her? I was so transfixed by him at first, I did not hear anything that he was saying. Then I saw him pulling a paper bag from his trouser cuff. Would you say I have bags in my pants? His eyes were still on me. He was tall and slender, balder than the picture of him out front, but with a bushier mustache, gentle in his movements, and he gave the impression of strength without bulk, lots of willpower, mind over matter, a real magician. Watching him, I wondered what had happened to that girl he had turned into milk and drunk. He wore a tight black suit and riding boots. When he held something like a playing card or even a bowling ball, he did so with the tips of his long fingers. He had a hooked nose, too, and the way he stared and showed his teeth, he looked like he wanted to take a bite out of me. I had seen that his eyes had changed color, but they changed again, went paler, and became like a bird's blinkless eyes, and pierced me. Millroy was stuffing a big flapping chicken into the paper bag, but I was so intent on him, I did not hear what he was saying. The bird was fat with feathers, but did not look twitchy and stupid the way chickens do. This one seemed slow and agreeable, like an old friend. Millroy twisted the top and punched the bag on its bulge, flattening the thing and leaving him holding shreds of paper. That was booby, and that gives a whole new meaning to the expression chicken out, he said, looking in my direction. Now let's brighten this place up. A bunch of flowers popped from his sleeve, and he tweaked another nosegay from his breast pocket. One more bunch exploded from underneath the lapels of his coat. He arranged this bouquet, and while we clapped, he wiggled a ribbon of silk from between his fingers, then yanked it. One silk scarf knotted to another on an endless chain, and while he went on yanking, he rolled up his sleeves. Where was this thing coming from? By the time the question popped into my mind, the scarves lay in a tall pile on the table. What was that? He said. That sound. These questions were all directed at me, and I almost spoke up because just then I heard a clucking sound. Get out of there, booby, you Chinese chicken. He moved his hands over the head of a small girl in the front row and pulled an egg out of her ear and another from her mouth. Got that bird worried, Millroy said. We all laughed, but he was looking straight into me. I kept my thumb in my mouth and locked my finger onto my nose. Millroy was so close I could see that his face and the skin on his bald head were pebbly with sweat, and he was trembling and a bit breathless, as though this performance were taking most of his strength. The clucking came again like monotonous words in a foreign language. Millroy said, That's funny. Come up here, sugar. Gently pinching her small hand with 2 long magician's fingers, he lifted the small girl to her feet and guided her to the stage. She was about 9, with skinny white legs and falling down socks and braids. What's your name, honey? Who, me? Yep. You were standing there with your teeth in your mouth. Lynette Trumpka. That's a real pretty name, Lynette. But say, you got a chicken anywhere on you? I don't think so. Smile. Or if you can't smile, make a funny face, Millroy said, still seeming to be talking to me. I'm psyched, the girl said, and everyone laughed. Millroy walked Lynette Trumpka around the stage so that we could all see she was wearing stiff little pedal pushers and a ketchup-stained t-shirt that had come untucked. Hey, what's this? Millroy said, and pulled 2 more eggs out of her ears. You sure you haven't got a chicken somewhere? The little girl shook her head. Nope, she didn't. Okay, Lynette, you've been a good sport, so take a bow. As she bent over, Millroy pulled a struggling chicken out from one leg of her pedal pushers. Lynette went rigid. It was the chicken he had called Booby, and it flapped and squawked until Millroy gripped its yellow legs. Then it relaxed and looked as plump as a feather duster. Fatso, Millroy said. With his fingers sinking into its feathers, he weighed Booby the chicken in his hands. But that reminds me, he went on, and leaned toward me. This is the